All right, y'all, I got my hat on, so you know I'm about to break out the big tractor. But today, what I'm going to do is be preparing I'm preparing the fescue for the heat, and I'm preparing the Bermuda for the start of the season. And I'm using the same products, but they're going to achieve different things for me for each lawn. And today, I'm going to let you know what that's about. And speaking of this Bermuda lawn, I've noticed that every year I have some stellar lawns in my community, and most of the grass here is a warm season grass, and they'll look very nice in the months of May. Uh, Starting in the month of May, June is looking really nice, and July gets good. By the time mid-July and August gets here, the grass starts to drop down. It's not as green as it was at the beginning of the season. And because I get to notice them, pretty much know what a lot of their issues are. So in this video, also, what I'm going to do is show you how to maintain a green lawn throughout the summer because, especially Bermuda, that grass loves heat. I mean, 100 degrees is nothing for a Bermuda lawn, and you should be able to maintain a nice green lawn just like you did late spring. Um, you should be able to keep that same green. So today I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, believe it or not, this right here is one of the main reason why a lot of your lawns are not staying green. You're watering your lawn, but you're doing it incorrectly. What you need to know about watering your lawn, Bermuda and most grass going to need about an inch of rain or inch of water on it per week. What I need you to do is to know how much water your sprinkler is putting out. And so what you need to do is get you something like a tuna can or get on Amazon and buy one of these like $5. And then what you're going to do with this, you're going to set this out in your lawn and you're going to measure how long it takes to get your 1 inch. Now, look, you don't necessarily have to have this there for the entire time until it fills up to 1 inch. Like a tuna can or that measuring device that I have there, you can just put it in there. And if you can measure half an inch or a quarter of an inch or something like that, and you can do the math from there. For example, if it takes it 15 minutes to fill up to half an inch, then 1 hour is what you're going to need to water. And I know when I say 1 hour, that's per zone, however long it takes that zone to get that amount of water on the ground. And you see here, I have all of these rotary sprinkler heads. They don't put out as much water as well as the stationary sprinkler heads. So this takes me over an hour to get 1 inch. But if you have the stationary, they may put out more water because it's constantly going in one area instead of rotating. So these type of sprinklers may take half the time to get the same amount of water out. So every sprinkler system is going to be different depending on what type of sprinkler heads you have, water volume, pressure that you have coming at your system. So what we need to do is know exactly how much each of your zones is putting out in order to get to that 1 inch requirement. Now, look, some of you guys are probably cringing that your water bill is going to be crazy watering a zone for an hour or so or something like that for 50 minutes or whatever. But if you are watering 10 minutes a zone for 4 or 5 days a week, that's the same as doing it, 50 minutes for an hour, doing 50 minutes or doing an hour one day. It's the same thing. You just got it all coming down at one time. When you water so lightly like that, the water that you are putting out doesn't get to make it down to the zone. So you have to come up to the water that you're putting out. You're putting out just a little bit of water that doesn't make it down to the roots. So the roots come up to the water. So when your roots come up, it's coming up to the top of the grass, coming up to the top of the ground where it's hotter. The sun is there. So the sun is baking your roots and your grass is going brown. So you don't want that. You don't want a shallow root syndrome, which is that's what they call it. You don't want that. You want to water deep and infrequent. So that's why you put it all out one day. The only thing extra I need to add to that is every lawn is different. Like you might have a slope on your lawn where water runs off and it gets off into the concrete areas or something like that. You definitely don't want to water the concrete, because you may have clay soil, compacted soil, or whatever reason why it's running off. If it starts to run off before you get to the desired 1 inch, you may have to just let it go up to a half an inch, then start to the next zone, and then come back after. Now that right there alone may clear up your whole going brown in the heat of the summer. It may clear your whole situation up. So next, what I'm doing, I'm getting ready to aerate this thing. So this right here is gonna plump some holes off in this ground so the water and nutrients that I put out can get down to the roots on faster. Now, I'm not going to say this is a requirement because most people don't have this. And then a lot of people don't even have a truck to carry one of those aerators because they are extremely heavy. And some people may not even want to pay the service. If you have a yard service like True Green to come and do it, you can do that. So I'm not going to put this down as a requirement, but because I have this, I'm going to pull it with my tractor. This is one of the things that I do. All right, once you get finished with that, then it's time to go to the next step. Like I said, this is not a situation where you have to do this. I have the access to it, so I do it. You can rent this and get a company to try to do it, or you can try to do something as simple as poke holes in the ground yourself. With something like this is a aerator. You got small spots. You can go in and you can just poke holes in the ground. The next thing I want you to do, and this is pretty much I'm going to say you need to do, this is a carbon product. This is like Carbon Pro G, and this right here really allows your grass or your soil to hold more moisture. And this is what you're calling a soil amendment with this. So this is pretty good. Now, what you want to get some carbon out in the soil. They got several different products out there. Carbon Pro G is one, and I think Anderson's and their biochar, same thing. So you want to get this in the soil. And, I would suggest you top dress with compost. You can't go get a truck full like I do. You can go and get something like some black cow and spread it out. I invested in one of these years ago. Been one of the best investments that I've had, and it's a compost spreader. I use this instead of fertilizers, which brings me to the next problem that a lot of people have. They're using too much synthetic fertilizers. Look, synthetic fertilizer is just a bag of salt. Salt dehydrates your lawn. You can get away from that, especially in the stressful summer heat. Get away. This is where products like this, like Milorganite, comes in. This right here, this is human manure or poop. This right here is cow manure, and this is my favorite fertilizer. This is a mixture of this is chicken manure, and this also has some synthetic fertilizer in it. Another thing that you can use is a Hydrotain. This is very good. I've used it for years, and this will help maintain moisture in your ground. Also, it pulls humidity straight out of the atmosphere and surrounding soil and make it available for the roots. And that is a giant game changer for you. So if you're having drought issues or issues with keeping your stuff green in a drought situation, this is a very good product. And don't get confused. Don't let people confuse you as this is not a wetting agent. I have a wetting agent that I've ordered. I have to show it to you another day. I'm going to use that in conjunction with this, along with the carbon, along with no synthetic fertilizer, and going with organic stuff. And these are the products that I use to help maintain a healthy green grass. Now look, I always use my pimp juice. I always use it. So that's always a part of my program here. So I didn't want to just let people, show people that I'm doing certain things and it's the sole reason. I know a big part of why my grass can do what it does in those extreme conditions. I do use my pimp juice. For people who don't know what that is, this is my fish fertilizer. I use humic acid, I use blackstrap molasses, and I use organic kelp. I use all those products, and then I also enhance those products with certain things. That's my base. That's my base right there. So with my base, I can do certain things like I can add more nitrogen to the base. I can add I add surfactant to the base already. I can add iron to the base. If I want a deeper, darker green, I add iron to that base. I add just different things depending on what I need, like potassium. I can add liquid potassium to the base. I do a lot of this is just the base that I use here, and depending on what time of year it is or what I'm looking for out of the lawn, I can add to it to achieve certain things. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get these products sprayed and rolled out onto this lawn, put all this stuff up here, and get ready to get this season started. Got to get everything cut. Got to hit the front yard with the fescue. And speaking of the fescue, some people who follow me know that I did a late season fescue overseed, and this is what it's looking like right now. It's still here. I'm going to try to put some of these same products that I just listed for the back. I want to do this in the front, and we're going to try to get see where we can go here. I am having trouble with that area there. I think I'm going to have to dethatch and remove a lot of the debris out of the lawn and get more topsoil on that to get the grass to actually catch and grow up. But that's for another story. But I just want to give you a quick update on the Turf Type Tall fescue. I'll see you guys in the next video.